everybody, Catherine here, popping in with everybody's favorite topic, meal planning, right? Maybe not. But here is a couple other topics intertwined into meal planning that might be more of your favorite. One of them being saving money, two of them being saving time. And so we're going to chat real quick about some of those things, right? It is no secret at all that eating out is more expensive than eating at home. And so we know average statistics are that the average American household spends about $3,000 on eating out every calendar year. Okay, that's a lot of money. It is for our family, and I know it is for a lot of other American families. That's a fair amount of money. And the reason why, right, it's a lot. When you eat out, the average markup on that food is 300%. So a meal that you could prepare at home for about $5 is going to cost you $15 at a restaurant. Plus tip, right? There's extras. And so we know why, right? There's supply chain. You're paying for buildings, you're paying for work, you're helping to pay for all the bills. And we know that and we understand that. And do not get me wrong. I love a meal out as much as the next person. It is such a treat and it's awesome to experience food in new ways with people. And so I totally get that. This is not at all a shameful, like you should not be doing this, because everybody does it from time to time. There's, seasons where you do it more or less. But I think just generally speaking, right? An average meal at home. And when I say average, know that average is determined by a lot of factors, right? If you live in a big city, you've got a lot more grocery store options than small towns do. So because of those more options, you're more likely to find better competition. And so you're probably going to find better prices than in a small town, maybe where you only have one grocery store. They don't necessarily need to compete with other stores. And they probably are also paying more to get that food to you. And so, there's a cost associated with that. Also the type of food that you eat. So, do you have an eating plan that needs to be gluten-free or dairy-free or, even a Whole30, keto, paleo, any of those types of plans, primarily organic, not organic, all of those factors affect our averages and our personal, household choices on what we are buying, where, and how. But that all being said, the average meal at home costs about $4 per person, okay? And so then your average restaurant cost is about $13, so it's about that 300% markup again, okay? So if we run with those averages just for a tiny sprint here, if you took 2 meals a week and instead of having them out, you had them at home, you would save $1,000 a year. Now, I don't know about you guys, but $1,000 sounds like a good deal to me. So I'd love to hear, if you're watching this, just drop some comments of what would you do with an extra $1,000 a year in your budget? Okay, obviously, if $1,000 doesn't sound like a lot and you're looking to save a little more and you are eating out a lot, up those times, right? Instead of 2, maybe you're doing 3 or 4 at home. Okay. So here's what I know. I run classes and you guys, that's why you're here. And I hear from people all the time, but I just don't have the time. Okay. That must be, I have to believe that is the number one driver in why people choose to eat out more than those same choices to be at home. They are running to and from, kids' activities. They are coming home from work late. They're doing all the things, right? They don't have leftovers to take for lunch. Like it's all a time. And we all share that same amount of time. And so definitely that is a factor. With meal planning and why we can try this, why we can do this. So one of the things I do in my class is, because of that time crunch, is I try to take some of the work out of the equation for you guys. We come up with a plan, we walk through the plan, we learn how to use the plan. Maybe we cook for dinner one night and then we make lunches for multiple days. So even if you're just doing that, here and there, wowzers, that savings can sure add up. But I know for a lot of people, right, it's not just the time to cook, it's also the time to shop. It's the time to even just think about meal planning and what are we going to eat this week. And so that is why this class is so awesome for you, because it does take a lot of the guesswork out. Are you going to absolutely love every meal on the menu? Probably not. Will you find some that you absolutely love? I think you will. Will you find some that, okay, I really like that, but I'd like to tweak this just a little bit going forward? Absolutely. The goal here is to make this successful for your family so that you can rinse and repeat over and over, and it takes the guesswork out of coming up with a meal plan, looking for recipes, figuring out how to take those ingredients and make them work for multiple meals. We're doing all that right here, okay? So that's super easy. So couple other things that I want to touch on with cooking more at home. When you cook at home, have total control of your ingredients, okay? So therefore, your fat is typically lower, okay? Your sugar is typically lower, and I don't know about y'all, but that sugar monster that lives inside of me does not need to be awoken at any time, okay? So I love that even when a recipe maybe calls for sugar, I can choose to omit, I can choose to reduce, I can make those choices. And so during class, these are all the things that we're gonna talk about. You're gonna learn some tips, some tricks, and essentially the goal is, you guys, to set you up for success, okay? And even with meal planning, so maybe you're someone that I just want to get this all done on, Sunday evening and have it ready for the week. Perfect. We are going to talk exactly about how that is going to work. Okay. But maybe you're also someone who says I don't have that time, but you can work through the meal plan throughout the week or throughout a couple weeks. And so we're going to talk about, ongoing about what specific recipes work really well. Cook all day when you're at work or you're running activities. You're going to feed your family dinner, and then you're going to have lunch solutions for a number of days. So I am super excited to learn alongside of you guys, but I would love to hear some feedback first, okay? Number one, what is your biggest challenge in getting food on the table at your house? And don't be shy. We're all there, okay? You are not alone in any of those struggles. I guarantee that. But let us know, what is your number one challenge in getting food on the table? And then what are those factors for you that determine, we're going out? We're just going out. We shouldn't, but we're doing it because I don't have the time, or, whatever the case is. What are those things? The more of those that you're willing to share, the better, personalize and customize I can make class for everybody. And so all that information is so helpful. And I would love to hear it. And not only that, I'd just love to hear who you are, where you live, how many people you cook for, on a regular basis, what your family looks like. And so we can just really lock arms and make this a successful class for everybody, to just come away with, wow, this has been so helpful. I want to continue doing this. This has helped us. We've eaten better. We've saved money. We've saved time. And we've even included our kids, right, in our meal prep or our cooking for the week and the month. So lots of information there. But guys, we're all here. We're all learning. And I can't wait to get to know all of you and chat more about how we can do all the things to save you the time, the money. So really, it frees up your time to just spend more time with the people that you love the most. So show me some feedback in the comments, and then we will get going on class very soon. We'll chat with you later.